Welcome back, League fans, for Game 4, which has Golden Guardians opposite TSM Academy. And when it comes to the revamped GGSA roster, it turns out former LCS players are actually pretty damn good.
Who would have thought? Well, specifically, it's Huhi that's doing a really good job as a support. He's establishing himself as a map-focused support, helping his team out whenever he can, which is exactly how he was playing mid lane in the first place.
Yeah.
And they had a really strong early game versus Team Liquid Academy, who we just saw play. But unfortunately, they could not close out.
That's right. Hui's been quite versatile in his picks, too, with a Gragas just in his last game. So we'll have to see what he pulls out. Now, Golden Guardians Academy have another tough opponent against the current champs of TSM Academy, who came off their first loss.
Yeah, and TSM Academy could not keep up with Cloud9 Academy right now. They were crazy good. Even though Spica has been stellar for them this time around with Grigg stepping up to LCS, he could not step up to Blabber's pace. Blabber just being so dominant in Academy. But I think that this team, they did have a clean win against Optic last night, so I don't think they need to worry about too much whether they were able to keep up with Cloud9 or not, because it's not like they're going to be facing them every week.
Right, absolutely. We'll have to see what they do get into. Let's look at the starting lineups on the blue side. It is the Golden Guardians Academy. In the top lane is Darshan. Hard in the jungle, Palafox in mid, FBI at bot lane with Huhi at support, and Coach Nero. FBI, where at?
Yeah, challenging them though on the red side. It's TSM Academy, Brandini in the top lane, Spica in the jungle, a Blaze Olive playing mid, Tactical playing bot, support Treats, and their coach Peter.
He's just too secret. You have to have
right?
that pixel per pixel like imaging that just mirrors. He's actually standing there, but
I love that he wasn't there. Just FBI. Surprise.
He'll be coming in strong. So, looking at yesterday's game for Golden Guardians, they, as we said, had that lead. There was so much to it for them. And then looking at what continues to happen out of the top lane, the catches that Darshan gets himself into begins to affect the team.
Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of emphasis when you have a team with veterans, LCS veterans and rookies on the veterans to really pick up the slack, especially when it comes to shot calling with guys like Darshan and Huhi that have literally won championships together.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be able to educate a team as to what good shot calling and bad shot calling looks like.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what they have righted for today as we get into picks and bans, what they feel comfortable playing against. No one wants to see that karma, so we'll get that taken out right away with the Aurelia and the Olaf. TSM, with the main roster and the academy roster, we've always known them to take time and champion select, and I like that from a team. Run down the clock. You have this time to discuss. It can get pretty hectic sometimes. It's not a place to make a mistake.
Vary tactics, though, because it also works really well if you just slam those picks like bam, 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 bam every single time, because you start throwing out the idea to your opponent that, wait a minute, maybe these guys have a crazy prep plan already. Do they know more than we do? Like, why do they not hesitate at all? They haven't thought about these choices. And it's those mind games that you quickly get into in League of Legends that can help you out a lot or turn into a slippery slope that you're just never coming back from.
So next, final ban. Oh, the Twisted Fate. I like that. You can see Blaze Olive bringing that onto the Rift easily. But would it be the Triforce or would it be the AP Twisted Fate?
I think it'd be the Triforce. I like the Triforce. It has been the
Triforce as of Bjerg coming through with it. We saw and heard DeMonte playing against it. He's like, okay, it's tanky too. Like, what the hell is this? Pretty funny stuff. Yuumi getting locked in, so they are going to have that for Huhi on the bot again. He kind of keeps going with a variety of champions, Aatrox and Lux. Two great pickups for TSM as well.
No Sivir taken, though, so they are going to give up Sivir if FBI wants to take this. So Sivir Yuumi, nasty lane, as we already know.
Got a disgusting Ezreal.
They do take 2 power picks away, so the Lux and the Aatrox. And on red side, these 2 serve as flex picks. So TSM Academy really throwing a curveball at Golden Guardians from the very get-go, telling them, whatever you're drafting, it better be solid on its own, because we're not going to tell you what our laners are going to be doing.
Let us see. What is it? So they do lock in the Akali. So somebody to run around. with on that Yuumi and the Akali, and Palafox locks in the Jarvan. So Palafox is actually going to want as much as a counter pick as he can get here, if that's not his. Darshan on Akali, could definitely see it. We saw him, I believe, Fiora yesterday. And we will have to get the last lock in. Caitlyn Lux. Oh my word. Long range pain. You're definitely going to be taking a bit of damage in bot lane. It's just a matter of how much, or does that Lux flex?
An absolute pain train here. And good range too, allowing you to at least have a fighting chance of avoiding Yuumi's poke, as opposed to being a super short range AD carry. With Caitlyn, you can walk out of that if you have the power to shove against the towers. So now TSM Academy targeting those AD carries in the bottom, making sure that Caitlyn can have the greatest laning phase of all time.
So is that just a Sivir ban then?
It could be. I mean, it's not like Sivir would do really well against the Caitlyn because you do get outraged, but you do have the problem of late game, Sivir Yuumi is just a filthy combination that can do a lot of work. So if they leave the Sivir, it's saying, if you take Sivir, we want to punish it in lane. If they ban it, well, it's just saying we don't want to even risk the fact that the Sivir can be an absolute late game monster.
The comp already benefits quite a bit from movement speed. Then again, who doesn't? They figure that the Lucian is going to be a little bit more of an impact in that lane, though.
So they are okay with the Sivir just because it's so good for Caitlyn.
15 seconds for Golden Guardians. Obviously, they have 2 picks here. So one of them is going to have to be that show of top or mid, and the flex. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the ban.
So,
but the flex will go away soon.
It's a TSM team. Oh, I'm dumb. Never mind. Down. Sejuani's already banned. I didn't even get to see that.
Oh, the second ban.
Yeah.
It faked you out.
It did.
The Ladies of the Rift being banned out by TSM Academy. All 3 scoffing. They're like, no, don't ban me. Gragas. Yasuo?
It's a very possible.
Yasuo?
Very possible.
Oh,
very spicy.
okay.
I mean, you got Aatrox to help you with the knockups, Gragas the classic, and you can actually combo those knockups really well with the Caitlyn trap and the binds out of Lux. So it's a pretty sick combo here if they were to pull it off. But it's all about the matchup that Yasuo would get, because I don't think you want to take Yasuo into the Akali. And what Darshan plays will determine if this is the play. Yeah, this is not a Yasuo time. I mean, it could be, but it's hard.
Yeah. Also, the Ashe for FBI, safe lane, just throwing out the volleys, the initiation. Basically saying, is this a Palafox Akali carry? Once we get those lockdowns, once hard's in, once that arrow's in, does Akali get fed? The fight's gonna happen anyway. It just seems like a good condition to set forth. And the Azir's locked in for Blaze Olive as he sees the composition, says he knows what he wants. The biggest threat to him is something that's going to be diving in, and he wants to push it right back out.
They have so much to do just that with Team Gragas and Azir pushing out all the divers, making sure that they don't connect any damage. Because just logistically think about how Golden Guardians engages. Jarvan goes in. Jace has to go into hammer form as well. Yeah. He's not going to be able to get in. Akali can't get in. Who's dealing damage? Ashe is not a high DPS AD carry. She is about utility. She's about poking a lot with that volley. So if they can just deter Akali and Jace from getting in there, they have a really good way of countering the team fight that Golden Guardians wants to bring to the Rift.
Also, we'll see if that Akali, or I guess Jace, not so much. Mostly Akali can get catapulted. If they do, he's got awesome champions to run around on. In that sense, follow the Akali, come back, heal everybody, back to Akali, wreak havoc on the rest of the game. I remember when she came out, against any champions, they just go crazy like a Yi. I think it was a Kayn in the game, though, that this Yuumi got destroyed in lane, jumps on a Kayn that was like 4-0. It's like, yeah, here we go. It's over now. And just one-shots everybody, and you're on the other side of the map in a matter of seconds. So I just love Yuumi. Also the pressure, Yuumi overall, as we get a little bit of early action to start things off, that I don't think we're going to get a first blood. They are staying in quite long. Oh my word! The Akali damage to start things off. Another kill coming in the bot lane of TSM Falls. Both tactical and treats get served up on a platter to start this one off.
Talk about playing on hard mode.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know that was an option to select before you loaded it.
Right? Woo! I mean, those kills went over to... Oh, well, let's first take a look at how it went down, because it was all about Yuumi Akali here. Look at the slow, the volley slows, and then instead of retreating back through the banana, they go back to mid lane just to get taken out. They didn't even burn a single sum, and then Lux as well, bam, taken out as well. That almost looked too easy.
Man, you never get to go back and spend. That happens so early. Usually the first few kills, you're like, cool, they'll hit 2 a little earlier. But this actually makes a difference. A bit of a longsword damage for both lanes. And you are going to be able to farm a bit easier if you get pushed under the turret. Here we go. Hard says, I'm going to make that even harder for you now. As Spica tries to grab Big Wolf. Looks like you will be able to unless you get a quick flag hit in here. Woo! Take it away. Level 2 going up for Hard.
I mean, that's just being very aggressive here, trying to sack both junglers to make sure that their laners get a strong lead. And it's not a bad idea because you got so many lanes that will inherently win on their own. Jace will beat the Aatrox, as he's already doing, so if you know that the jungler is never coming, this will continue to happen. Then you've got the Akali that just got a longsword, so she's going to be very happy in the mid lane. And then the bottom lane, again, they just got some kills. So if the Jarvan continues to do this, it's going to just help everybody else because Jarvan is not a jungler that needs to get kills. He just needs to make sure that his lanes get ahead.
And bot lane has no way to leave and get in there to even attack Jarvan. You would love to leave your CS, but like you said, you just died. You're trying to hit level 2. You cannot afford to fall any farther behind for tactical and treats. Great pressure coming in from GGS to start things off. It's kind of the name of the game today. Continue your snowball. That's what we're seeing with teams who are kind of 500 on that record or below are losing it in the mid game. They all have the idea of how to get out of that laning phase, but it's that full map coordination that is becoming the crutch of these teams that have an advantage in the beginning. 2-0 though. See if they can extend that. It was Hard feeling pretty good off those Talisman and Hunter's Machete to start off, so he'll have a bit better pace in the jungle too.
Yeah, we've got now the Scuttlers being contested for, but it looks like because the Gragas is in the top side of the map and he has no pressure from his lanes, it's just not going to happen. So having to go and resort to go for the bottom crab will be the better choice for this jungler. And let's see what's going on with Darshan and Brandini. Looks like Brandini doing a pretty solid job, honestly. 18 CS to 22. Not the worst, but you just don't want to be dying, giving away too many kills. And remember that this is a nerfed Jace. His Q's not going to do that much.
I think we've seen a few since his nerf, even in pro play.
Oh, it's still,
like there's one in LCK, right?
It's still great, right?
Yeah.
He's still awesome. He's still a lane dominant champion and very skill reliant. So a lot of players that have put in the hours of Jace will feel the need to say, you know what, I'm going to still play this champion because I'm so good at it, because I can guarantee providing pressure for my team, and I can probably carry if we go to mid to late game. I can hit some pretty crucial shot blasts.
Nice hit on the cannon. That looked like a tricky one for a second. Darshan knows what he's doing. Actually has a bit of a CS lead to start things off here. Brandini on the Aatrox today. Funnily enough, TSM was first to ban out the Karma for their first phase of bans as he played that in the top lane just yesterday. Wreaked havoc, and nobody wants to be seeing that tank Karma. Oh, good damage. Got a cannon wave to fight against, though. As he gets that Deathbringer stance to heal him back up just a little bit, playing nicely under the turret. Palafox back up against the Blaze Olive at even CS as the lane resets. That is power. We'll see what these two can do. Electrocute versus Fleet Footwork. So Palafox is looking to get in, get out, get a little bit of that health every time he does so.
Now we've got another Mountain Dragon in our games. Another big objective to fight for. Both these teams will benefit tremendously from it, and I gotta imagine that this is gonna be a good objective for Golden Guardians. Once FBI hits that level 6, finding a pick with arrow is so easy when you're up against a Lux and a Caitlyn that don't have cleanse, or a mid laner that doesn't have cleanse. Land that arrow, get the pick, transition into the objective, and then continue to pressure the map. So Golden Guardians here with a 1.6k gold lead should be in the driver's seat.
One fight in, the next fight back. Darshan's able to trade quite well as he gets into hammer form against Brandini. He still has to chug the potions though, Brandini, with that passive healing on Deathbringer stance, always keeping him just slightly more topped off. Oh, Darshan wants the vision and does it over the wall to keep himself safe. I think he'll be able to get an Infernal here. Yeah, just enough.
That was a really lucky timing out of Darshan, because any time that you use that gate from Jace is exactly when the jungler wants to go after you. Kind of the same thing with Lucian or the Ezreal. When you E forward and you use your escape tool, that's when the jungler wants to go in on you. So Spica, just by a hair, didn't find the route to gank Darshan there.
Oh, his timings are so good. Sees the jungler top, gets Scuttle right after Dragon spawning. Feels nice. Gonna be able to pick that up, and hard power farming through the jungle right now. Feeling pretty good knowing where Spica is. He's gonna have a bit of an upper hand on his next movement. Bot lane farm, 58 to 53. FBI knows he's gonna be getting tagged a bit. Also goes with the cleanse this game. Has already used it in a recent situation when we were watching top, but 3 teleports to GGS on those 2. We could see those plays coming in later.
It's a nice engage and trade from Darshan, but he wants to be very careful going into Brandini, because when you telegraph when you're going to jump onto him, it's so easy for Aatrox to just predict your movements with his Q, hits you with the W, locks you in place, and then you get chain comboed, and he starts healing again, which is exactly what you want to avoid. The more that this Aatrox continues to wail on you, the more he's going to stay in lane and sustain. So Darshan has to balance harassing with minimizing how much damage Brandini is going to deal onto him, which is his sustain.
Ooh, good pressure. That ward was placed by Huhi, you see over the wall, that saw Treats while Hard was taking Dragon. So they have spent a lot of time down here. Hard's only gone back to grab that Bomby Cinder for now in his skirmishers, so feeling pretty good on items. Spica does not want to see him anywhere in the jungle at this point. You would see a dead Gragas very fast. Darshan low on mana, has to play this one careful. Just make sure he doesn't get himself into too much trouble. Teleport down, that'll be a long walk back to lane.
He was just waiting for the Q to go on cooldown from Brandini, and now the all-in is here. I think he might be able to get it if the reduced healing continues to miss from Brandini.
I was gonna say, with a quite minion wave there, thought Brandini was gonna go a little bit harder on that fight with the vision he had, but using a few Qs, he was short on damage. Darshan playing that one very well, even being pretty low on resources. Back to that mid lane, we haven't seen too much out of these 2 players just yet. We actually know Palafox quite a bit for his Azir play. And Ablaze Olive has done his own work on Akali and the rest of the champions, but I'm sure Palafox knows this matchup quite well, with that being one of his core champions.
I think that these Akali players know every single nuance of this champion so well that it's just so refreshing to see when they execute on it perfectly. You know, that's a high skill cap. That's the follow with an E to Twisted Fate kind of move that we get to see every once in a while.
I remember always when Broken Blade played it. He'd always have some pretty crazy tri-brush ins and outs that he would kind of mess with the jungler in the mid lane roam. It was great to see him play on that. Definitely has some mechanics that we don't see out of him too much due to the kind of...
Oh, he committed his combo here.
Oh, they're on Brandini and Spica. Palafox not shrouding just yet. Goes for the kill on Spica. They're able to drop him. Like I said, Spica didn't want to find too many people, especially a Jarvan and an Akali at the same time. Emperor's Divide is going to slow this fight down, but he flag and drags right over. Ablaze Olive now forced to flash. Is that not working out in their favor? And Golden Guardians is in it.
I did not know you could flag and drag over that. I thought that you couldn't.
Used by that, I think he should have been bopped out.
I think so too.
Yeah, because if you walk into it and even get placed against the wall, you're like multiple bopped until you're unboppable.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I guess he bopped until he couldn't be bopped no more.
When you flag and drag that hard, what can stop you? Oh, arrow to the face. That's all right.
Nice.
Got to be an arrow to the knee if you really want the full result. That's why we're not seeing a kill on this one. Nice stopwatch, as you said, by Treats. No summoners necessary, just the item usage.
That's a good reference.
Oh, that Q damage. Gets out. That's the way to do it. You run perpendicular to his W. You do not try to run straight out of Aatrox's Infernal Chain.
Oh, Brandini has flash, though. He might be able to still get a piece of this. Darshan's in trouble. Hard is here.
Ulti's wearing away. He wants an assist. Oh, he gets it. There's the reset, baby. Oh, wait, did he fall out? I think that was perfect timing. Hard's still like, wait a minute, I'm confused, and I'm out of this situation, too.
Oh, Darshan, the advantages he got top lane, they're now completely gone. Brandini just solo killed him, and he didn't even have to burn the flash on his lane.
Yeah.
Now the TP, this is a bit of an overcommitment out of TSM, but hey, they're going to get that Rift Herald. And where do they use it? Because whoever you give this gold to will make a big impact in the rest of the game.
I don't know, do you hit Palafox? You take away his lane, but he's 2-0-1. You let this guy roam quicker, and that just means he can start affecting more. It's what they're going to choose to do. They still have 4 members mid here, and they're going to try to put damage on the turret. Do they all share in the gold, though? Looks like they say, oh, Spica actually backs off just enough for that. A Blaze Olive solo gold on 2 plates.
He was shy about it. He's like, I kind of want it, but I also don't. Maybe coach said I should give it to the player. All right, I'll back off.
He's like, but oops, I wasn't. Right? No, I wasn't. Okay. So good clear out here at the Dragon Pit. Zombie ward control. Also a reason, you know, we can give that vision score over the other game. Zombie wards are definitely a cheap way to get that score up when watching you junglers and supports are getting yelled at for not having a good enough score. I see you. I see you.
Zombie wards are busted. They are great.
Thank you.
I love the concept though, right? You hijack someone's vision after they've used it.
It is super good. I think if more could take it without losing a good part of the tree, they definitely would. Like, well, that's the reason for most things. Okay, Captain Obvious. 1-2, one more strike of that Q from Brandini. You may just farm it out or let it wear off. Boom! Deathbringer stance comes up too. Is not allowed to use that with the slow from Darshan. Quick take on Dragon Infernal. Almost. Nice stop on damage there. Good talk out from GGS as they communicate. And it's going to be another Scuttle. Hard has owned this Scuttle on the bot side pretty much all game.
But now he can own a lot more. Going for that blue buff is a good idea. You have a Kali that just completed Gunblade. She's got a control ward that lets her linger in the brush. Woo! Darshan! Uh-oh!
That's
Get dove.
Yeah, he's out. He changes forms and he just keeps on running. Forest. Heading for the home. Or heading for the hills and home. Wrong pluralization. Oh my word, no follow-up. Oh, what a mental bait coming out from Palafox. A Blaze Olive trying to play it safe and expends the ultimate.
He doesn't even take it. I think he actually...
After that, you think he should have taken it around?
But if Azir still had his shuffle, he would have been able to shield himself. So
yeah, shuffle bop.
I don't know if he still had the shuffle on. I think that's what matters. I think at half HP, yes, you can execute with the ultimate. But if he has shield, you're definitely going to go down. So, you know, if you don't know, better safe than sorry.
It's like a Kali's ult taunts you. It's like perfect execution. Can you? Do you have what it takes?
Oh, Darshan just committed his gate and the shield. He's about to get dove. He's done
to the skies, shield, everything. W's there. The teleport's coming in, but it's not going to be enough. Maybe if you get to the brush, deny a little bit of vision. Here comes Palafox in. Gets the kick, but the... Wow, the barrel did quite a bit of damage. I didn't think Spica was going to take him out just yet. Back on to Spica is the retribution kill. Now Blaze Olive back in. Wants to pressure on. Remember, Empress Divide is down, but he shuffles in. Does not get the stop on a Palafox. He's going to try to get out of the fight. Here come the soldiers. The 1, the 2. The 3 coming in, and that's going to be Brandini's to pick up that kill on to Palafox.
There's a real pesky B there from Palafox, buying so much time. That's the power that Gunblade had, being able to be so sticky and mobile, especially having that fleet footwork. But it is going to result in TSM Academy's first tower and a play onto Treats. Ooh. Not stand a chance.
They snuffed that laser out too. That was a 250 gold shutdown for Brandini we just saw in the top lane as Palafox fell. Now Brandini's 2-0-1 after quietly farming against Darshan and almost seemingly being down a bit of health each time. We see him then get what was a solo kill without having to flash, and then coming up big on that play. We'll see it one more time here. Like you said, Darshan expending things, but you guys, I guess you should feel safe on his own side of the jungle to do this?
He's remained cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
Too cool, rather. And so by walking upwards, you actually do kind of buy enough time and you bait out spells out of TSM, but it makes it a little bit harder for Palafox and the rest of the squad to follow up here.
Yeah.
And, you know, Palafox doing whatever he can here to buy some time, going down. I think that, yeah, maybe buying time top could have played out well, or maybe just going straight bottom. At the end of the day, it's just such a messy play. We'd rather look at something a little bit cleaner, like an arrow into the Jarvan Cataclysm. So easy, so beautiful.
Mid lane getting hit up after that play. Both replays over, and we are back to live. 5-3 here. The 4-4 Golden Guardians Academy versus your reigning champs, 7-1 TSM Academy. Early game has to continue to be in their favor. Great job by Palafox in the mid lane, but can he shut down what's happening on the other side of the map as it comes to Brandini's trying to pick himself up? A little bit more, possibly a 3-0-1 here if he can get the play. Kill's gonna happen under the turret. He wants it. There's the gate. Flash forward, one last kill, and he gets it. Always happening when World Ender goes down. It's like he's using it for the speed. He's like, I don't even need the reset. Thank you very much.
That's knowing what else can Worldbringer do besides the reset, which is oftentimes, actually, I think might be even better, because every time I've seen Aatroxes use it exclusively for the reset, they almost end up just dying right away without doing anything, positioning themselves a little bit too dangerously, as opposed to just, hey, I just want to go and be a little bit stronger, almost like a Nasus ultimate. You pop it, you're faster, you deal more damage, you heal a little bit more.
Yep.
So it works out.
You see as he clears that last wave top and backs Brandini, picks himself up 150 gold bounty. Now 3-0-1, 250 gold bounty on FBI. Been pretty quiet in that bot lane. Ezreal, for one of his first games, played really, really well on it, actually, even though the team wasn't able to find that victory. And then now the Ashe, as he keeps it strong in the bot lane. 171 to Tactical's 151.
It's that power of Yuumi, letting the Ashe continue to farm. And now with the Blade of the Ruined King, he's going to be able to get away from champions like Aatrox a little bit easier, using the active to get out of that. But this is now where the cards will fall. You got a Mountain Dragon. You don't want to let Golden Guardians get to him.
First Infernal and Mountain, which is nice. Also for FBI level 10, that volley has 5 levels in it, so you got a pretty good cooldown now as you can start just unleashing slows into the team of TSM. Brandini with a blue buff, looking for an in on the fight. Arrow actually hits onto a Blaze Olive. He's gonna get cooked up in the fight. They also get the back line of treats. That's the CC. TSM needs to stop the fight and re-engage with their counter, but now they're onto Brandini. A big shock blast onto Tactical as Darshan makes the Jace work from the outside. Prowling projectile hits. Brandini tries to get saved by the cast, but Speak is just pouring one out for everybody on that ult, and it's gonna be Golden Guardians with the ace.
They're so good when they get to group up and engage decisively. Beautiful arrow from FBI. Catches not just the bottom lane, but a Blaze Olive. Wow. More important, because the bottom lane, they didn't need an arrow. They got a full shock blast to the face out of Darshan. That, yes, he lost lane. Yes, he was 0-3, but that shock blast made up for it with a great follow-up for the rest of the team. And now they get a Mountain Dragon, a tier 1, 4 kills, just turning everything around.
One thing I like to look at after kind of our first big fight is how drastic were the summoner spells that were needed for that fight to be won / you know, the defense TSM.
Look at what he does. He throws it from a control ward, so he knows that he's not going to be spotted in any of these. A Blaze Olive didn't even think that that was possible. The root out of Yuumi, beautiful Cataclysm trapping 2. Just perfect execution out of Golden Guardians here, going for this. And the fact that they go ham, go for a little bit more is even better. Yeah, you lose Darshan, but he was already dying anyways. You might as well keep going.
FBI did not need to flash there. I like the greed, though. Sometimes the greed equals value. A lot of times that flash could be needed in the next fight. That's the kind of stuff we're tracking after big plays like that. 2 Mountain Drakes on top of that Infernal. I don't think there's really much to track for the plays. GGS feeling confident in their positioning, in their fighting, and 2 players sitting around 4-1-4 and 4-0-4. That's Palafox and FBI.
And now that Golden Guardians has 2 mountains with a 3rd lined up, I don't even want to see them go for 3. They need to be pressuring this top side of the map as hard as they can. You got Darshan in the bottom lane with that teleport ready to go at any point. Lots of pings onto the Baron in the control ward with a Blade of the Ruined King Ashe and then the Kali. This should be a very easy Baron for Golden Guardians if they can just get the time of day to hammer away at it without TSM noticing it.
Top lane push from Palafox. Nice job putting the split, pushing Akali to work. And that's going to make TSM start to spread their resources thin. They got to figure out how to defend on both fronts. FBI with the Hurricane, easily able to clear up these minion waves along with Volley as it comes to the turret. That's about all you need in one champion. And it looks like GGS is now able to set up a little pace of the game here in mid lane.
There's no wards for TSM Academy to really see what's going on with Golden Guardians. They've already cleared out the mid lane. They're really just relying on the mid lane pressure. An arrow onto Treat, so that's FBI by himself.
He looks like he wants to get in on this. Play to the Rune King on Aspika, so he can't do much. They're just adding in little bits of damage here and there, really giving GGS a lot of ground. And like you said, that one started off by FBI. Had the cleanse to make it happen if he got into any sticky situation, and the team was behind him.
So they deal the poke, deal the damage, and now they're thinking about rushing. TSM responds with their own Scryer's Orb, but now they simply back off. Not worth the risk.
Cleanse ticking up right now for Who He's Yumi. If they do get into any crazy situation, they can mitigate a bit of the damage, but it looks like their pacing to back up gives TSM time to make a move on mid lane. That's always one great thing to watch about TSM is they realize when those windows of opportunity are open. They're not a team to usually play on the back foot. You always have to be ready for them to attack. Down 6K gold. It'll be pretty amazing if they can find a way back into this one.
Well, you've got the Azir, who's a late game absolute monster, so it's gonna have to come out of a Blaze Olive here because everybody else is gonna have a really hard time getting in there, or at least getting deleted right away. Yeah. Caitlyn not having good self-peel. It's Azir that has his own self-peel that will be very handy against the likes of Akali and Jace, but for one man to be in charge of carrying and he doesn't have cleanse against an Ashe, it's pretty hard.
It is going to be tough, and I say it's kind of hard for TSM to come back, but Crumbs, we're also getting to that position here. 8 more minutes, and the turrets are set up to be one fight wins, right? You're going to lose another second tier in a few minutes here, and that's where TSM thrives, is in that 5v5 fight, and they're like, oh, look, your base is open. And it looks like they've been kind of in their own base the whole game. Here, getting pushed back by Hard and GGS, giving the respect to Golden Guardians that they deserve to have in this area. Oh my God, Treats almost loses all of his health just from the Cataclysm. Final chapter out onto Spica, and maybe it is a little bit harder, or as hard as I said. A Blaze Olive with damage onto Hard, and they're gonna turn now over onto FBI. He goes down. Palafox getting chased out here, and it looks like TSM have found a bit of the fight that they can continue as Palafox is on Mission Impossible. Hero comes through, and they're trying to keep Who He safe on the back of Palafox. Shroud is down, Hard is in, and that could have been all Hero going down by the hands of Brandini. They're on the chase. Blazeal is able to shuffle forward in just a second, but cannot follow up on that. This is going to be quite a long chase. 10 seconds on FBI, 13 seconds on Darshan. The map is in a favorable GGS position, but you have Treats to clear out the minions in the mid-wave, so not really much coming there other than a sigh of relief from TSM.
Palafox is so strong right now, and now TSM finds a way back into the game, takes a team fight, and with this Mountain Dragon, they're going to be right back in it because that means that they too can win a fight and then immediately transition into a Baron if they choose to do so. And the big key for that objective for this last fight that happened was the teleports. But first, let's see how this initial fight came to be. Hard finds Spica and Treats, combos and says, you know what, let's do it. A great arrow actually gets body blocked from Treats by Spica, and then Akali in the backline takes 2 out, but look at Azir. He just demolishes alongside Brandini, who simply walked. He was kind of waiting in the flanks, waiting for wings, looking to get the engage on, but Golden Guardians pulled the trigger first, and now we're back to live, back to Baron, 2 mountains on Golden Guardians, and no sight for TSM.
FBI's flash is back up. Remember, we tracked that from the fight where they put TSM inside their base and FBI flash forward just to double up on those kills. A big reason Brandini was able to chase him in that last fight, and what a rock-steady defense set up for Baron. A few members are going to go down, but the overall result was huge for GGS. They can push the side waves. It looks like they still have a few members that will want to do that and don't have to be with the party as they start the fights.
No chance to steal that Baron. Really good play to put Palafox there to zone out the Gragas, and then the arrow on top of it all, making sure that Gragas does not find a way in, as that's really the only thing that would have stifled TSM's, or sorry, Golden Guardians' plans of doing that Baron.
Running. Whoa, good dodge. Getting the help of your little Yomu's speed. Doesn't decide to go for the fight. He's just going to clean Krug. So a quick back and forth shows us that TSM is not so down and out of it. They were kind of absorbing that pressure, figuring out where the fight was for GGS here. TSM showing they're a little behind still, but trying to make those plays is something on their menu.
The range of the Yuumi ultimate route is just nutty.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it goes beyond, or at least a little bit past the edges of the actual ability. It's the same with a lot of spells in the game, so you just have to play them, get a feel for them, and understand
You gotta learn.
just how far you can push it.
A few of the ones that get me are Xerath's Q, a little longer.
Yeah.
A little longer than expected, wider. And Fizz's ultimate circle. You can be clearly on the outside, but it's got like, after he comes out, it's got like this circle around him or something. A little bit wider. Big old fish.
When in doubt, assume it's fatter.
Not a small fish, it's a big fish. You gotta watch out, there's always a bigger fish, right?
And look at Brandini. Once again, looking for that flank.
His teleport's up. Like he walked into those positions. He is trying to set this up without using too many resources. You caught that last time that he didn't have to teleport to get there. So still leaving a few options open if they do have to make a cross-map play. Prowling projectiles back and forth as Hard tries to step in and out to allow that range. We talked about the Yuumi and Akali. We saw how much damage Palafox was doing earlier on that. Got himself into a bit of a sticky situation in front of the base. But TSM is now playing to a dark side of their map. You can see how the vision is focused. Whew. We're getting compound words I didn't even know were real, Crumbs. The vision is focused down towards the bottom side, so they might have a hard time getting that control back on the top side.
You know, I just thought of a really cool Yuumi skin idea. If you, just like Battle Boss, where the Q is a snake.
Ooh.
Like the snake game.
Oh! Oh, Darshan snaking his way out. Laser comes through. Brandini looks good in gold, but does he look good with a reset? He doesn't get it on World Ender. He tries to get out. Arrow's going to blow right past. GGS is not going to be able to follow up on the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Coming up on 30 minutes now. TSM are doing a damn good job at holding the base, and that is spelling tough things for GGS. They still have a bit of the outside map to work, a little bit more to scale, and items to put in their inventory. A few of those, I should say, will come from bot lane.
Yeah, that was a great play out of TSM, being able to fight without losing anybody. Because the whole point of the Baron against play is just don't lose the base. Don't lose your turret, your inhibitor turrets. Don't lose inhibitors. Don't lose Nexus turrets. Just don't lose against it, because you can always recover and team fight afterwards. You know that objectively they're a little bit more powerful during that time. So the more you can stall it without giving anything significant up, the better.
Listen to Crumbs, don't lose.
It's not win, it's don't lose.
Yeah, exactly. Very common phrase casters will say. It's like both teams aren't playing to their strength. Both teams don't want to lose. It's not that they don't want to win. FBI cleaning up 298 to 239. FBI's highest CS in the game, as he has been delivered some of these resources. Palafox getting his from the side lane split push. He's going to join Darshan for a moment here. Looks like they'll be able to do this quite strong, or at least give him protection. They're going to go for Drake, that's why. Seem to be splitting their power a little bit when they could definitely be doing the side lane split push. They got Baron in 130. Looks like they'll wait for that.
Well, the waiting game begins, and it's only going to favor TSM, though, because you still have a Caitlyn and a Azir that continue to scale up.
It feels good once you actually get a bit of damage on Ashe, because you build the Blade of the Ruin King first, and your farming is still like, I can't CS minions at too much health. You get the Ruin, it's nice. So FBI is feeling good. Flash is up there, also for tactical. Fleet footwork speed for him. With that Caitlyn range, rapid fire cannons in, so he can actually hit some turrets if he wants to. He can get up to that range and just pop them with a nice shot, get out safely. But 0, 3, and 2. Tactical and Treats did not have a good early game. We saw them getting caught very early in the game, and it didn't work out with Palafox and Hugi picking up a few early kills, or assistant kills. So GGS have been working off quite an advantage here to start things off.
I think that's the power that you bring when you're playing Ashe. It's not like they chose Caitlyn Lux into it. They blinded this lane. So FBI had a really easy chance saying, okay, I'll just pick Ashe into you guys. I know you're not going to run cleanses. Here's another arrow. The QSS has been bought out of tactical, though, because he's not going to fall for it again.
I love at what point the game we're at for GGS. Fire arrow down mid, there's 5 members. Which one? Pick and choose.
Yeah.
Bingo, we got one. Go ahead.
And you got the QSS, so now you can wait a little bit longer and do it again because the cooldown will come up before the cleanse.
Right, prime target. Slow onto Brandini. Oh, slow into Prowling Projectile. Loving the setup here. We always talk about the Yuumi and the Sivir for the Prowling Projectile boomerangs and the ricochets, but a lot of synergies that we have not really caught up to yet, with Yuumi being banned out so much and only seeing her so little.
Oh, they're starting this now, and
why not?
TSM is in position to respond. Azir has control of the mid lane. They see it.
Smites up for both. Hard's gonna go over the wall. Backline's gonna get knocked up. Final chapter onto them as he got a resurrecting Hard coming back up. That's gonna be his GA. He goes down immediately to the final spark as it comes back through. Blaze Olive with a beautiful shove to the backline, but it's gonna be FBI opening up on him. Brandini's gonna be going down next as the GA brings him alive. They focus on treats and they'll turn around for the second set. That's Dessert after him. Almost a triple kill, but FBI cannot get out of the binding to make it happen. Palafox picks that one up, and it's the second ace for the game coming in for GGS.
And you've got a pretty significant timer on the Caitlyn and the Gragas, so I think this is only going to be an inhibitor take for the bottom lane for Golden Guardians. But if they're crazy, they're feeling it with 2 mounts, they might push for the Nen, because this Akali, when she got in that backline, she just murders, so she might be able to do it again. Yes, they're going for the win.
Yeah, you can take out Caitlyn right as she comes up. There's not much defense there, and it looks like you're going to be able to get Lux too, because she won't be close enough for the spells. Final chapter goes out as they try to stop everybody coming back in, and that's going to be the Nexus. Golden Guardians taking down TSM Academy.
The #1 team, dispatching them. Now they've definitely proven that this team is here to play.
What was that as well? Coming out so strong from the start, finding those few kills. And like we said, usually the few kills in a game doesn't fluster anyone that much, but items were bought. Levels there were in discrepancy, and GGS was able, as we said, to carry that snowball, or at least push it downhill.
Yeah, I mean, that last fight, Palafox's flank with the Jarvan engage was crazy. Got onto the backline, no more Lux, no more Caitlyn.
Yeah.
And the fight was still close because Azir got in the backline as well and did a lot of work.
Yeah, let's show you exactly what we're talking about. A spicy, spicy start here with the 2 kills picked up at level 1 for Golden Guardians. And seeing, we definitely saw it was Akali
and Ashe.
I think FBI got a kill on this one.
No, FBI did get the second one.
Did he get the second
one?
one?
Was Akali, the first one, and this last one was...
Oh, you're right, he did over the wall here.
I believe a spell, and then the last little auto attack secured the kill.
Feels good, especially as an Ashe in lane 2.
You love
can get
to
an
start a
extra
game
item.
like that.
Yeah, so as I was saying, it's hard to farm anyway. So you're like, I don't want to volley this wave. I got to hit everything. FBI did a great job, and he kept up in CS as well. We move forward to 18 minutes into the game with Golden Guardians' first ace that comes up. 5 for 1 in the mid lane.
We love to see this. The big one was FBI arrowing from Fog of War in control wards every single time. Bam! Arrows onto a Blaze Olive. The bottom lane has already been chunked out by the J, so the follow-up is natural. Jarvan does a great job committing 2 members, and then they decide to just go in, and I want to take a look at what FBI did here, because you mentioned that he flashed unnecessarily. I want to see how hype is he, what kind of hype player is he, where is he going to go? Oh, bam! There it is.
Wait, I want to be a part of this too. You would have got an assist already, but still flashing forward. He's definitely one to watch. We wondered coming over. We even heard Lost say that kind of coming out of the region, nobody expects the OCE player to be like the one popping off, but we're getting a little bit of that out of FBI.
Man, any region's got talent. We've seen Turkey bring talent, OCE bring talent.
Yeah.
Where's the NA talent though? Because like, I want it to be here. Why do we have to continue to import it?
Let's jump into the final fight here of the game. Golden Guardians feeling real saucy throughout this one, and they're just gonna bait the dragon against Baron against TSM.
Look at Palafox in combination with the Jarvan getting into the backline. Look at him. Oh, bam, half HP on them. Caitlyn already deleted, and then circling onto the other side, and then Azir in the other direction. But FBI did a really good job flashing out of that shuffle, the Emperor's Divide, and then the rest is history, because you don't get hit by that initial shuffle as Azir. Your soldiers are mispositioned. Your cooldowns are down to reposition them, so you're not going to be able to get them deleted.
Quite a bit of damage there from your mid laners as well, but you can just see how relevant FBI was coming into those fights over the side of the Caitlyn and TSM. Tactical Entreats getting caught out a few times, like uncharacteristic game for them. They're definitely playing usually to a higher level.
Yeah, I mean, in Academy, they always interact with the players at the LCS, so they have that taste for what that higher level play feels like, so they can always just go back to, what was it like scrimming main team? Yes, this is how we should play.
Heck yeah. All right, to hear more about that victory, I'd like to welcome Golden Guardians FBI to the broadcast via Discord. What's going on, man? Good to see you again.
Hey, man. Good to see you guys. Thank
Hello.
you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's it. Sorry.
Last.
I got one question.
Yeah.
Why did you name yourself FBI?
It was actually not anything to do with like the American FBI like stuff. It was about actually an internet cafe in Sydney that I used to play at. They told me if I changed my name to FBI, they would give me free like internet cafe time. So, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
So last time I talked to you was actually at MSI, and you were really excited to be able to show what you could do and how much you learned on an international stage. How's it been now being in NA and kind of learning from a different region and taking everything in?
It's been really great, honestly. I've just been watching scrims, and then I've just been able to recently like slot into the scrims, and I think it's allowed me to like really slot into this team. And I've found that like interacting with the LCS players, like talking to them on a daily basis, has really helped me improve like my own play. So yeah, it's been really great.
Now, what's it like for you to play with someone like Huhi, who doesn't have that traditional support experience, coming in as a mid laner? It must be very different than your standard, I play with this guy, he's playing support his whole life, and now you have someone that wants to play Vel'Koz and wants to play the Gragas, or even suggesting Aurelion Sol.
It's actually been really good. I think Huhi is actually like much better than like a role swap support. I think when I came, he like already played like a really good support, and just having those extra picks has been really helpful for our draft. Like it confuses the enemy team, stuff like that, and yeah, it's been really great.
Nice. Yeah, that's good to hear.
Heck yeah. So you guys have had quite a strong early game versus TSM now, beat Team Liquid. You know, how has this week been now that you're in Golden Guardians and everything's kind of coming up awesome?
It's been pretty good. I think it kind of sucked to lose yesterday. I feel like we should have won the game considering how the early game went, but our draft was pretty hard to execute on, and I don't think we're at that level yet. But yeah, it's been really good. I think the team is really good. We're going to be a top contender for sure, and as long as we work on these mistakes, I think we're going to win it all.
Awesome. FBI, thank you very much, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So we've got one more game coming right up. Yes, that's right, one more. After the break, Echo Fox Academy face off against Optic Academy. Don't go anywhere. I don't think we're going to get a first blood. They are staying in quite long. Oh my word! The Akali damage to start things off.
What?
Another kill! Maybe if you get to the brush tonight, a little bit of vision. Here comes Palafox in. Gets the kick, but the... Wow, the barrel did quite a bit of damage. I didn't think Spica was going to take him out just yet. Back onto Spica is the Retribution kill. Arrow actually hits onto a Blaze Olive. He's going to get cooked up in the fight. They also get the back line of treats. Almost loses all of his health just from the Cataclysm final chapter out onto Spica, and maybe it is a little bit harder, or as hard as I said. It's going to be his GA. He goes down immediately to the final spark as it comes back through. Blaze Olive with a beautiful shove to the back line, but it's going to be FBI opening up on him. Brandini's going to be going down next.